Hello, my name is Kade Pintado, and I play Casey in The Butterfly Queen. My pronouns are they, them, and Casey's pronouns are they, them as well.
Hi, my name is Sophia Anthony. I play Robin in The Butterfly Queen. Her pronouns are she, her. The Montpelier Bridge said about your performance, it felt like they had been living on a farm in a small town Vermont their entire life. Are you a farm kid?
Um, that was that touched my heart. I'm glad because no, I'm not. I was not an outdoor child. Um, not at all. Uh, all of my dirt and farming has come from being in Vermont, so that might have helped. That every interaction I've had with nature has been really in rural Vermont, in this world that Casey lives in. No, I liked indoor activities.
Yeah.
To be honest.
Yeah. I feel like it helped that it was so immersive. We were living on the farm, like we were fully in Vermont, like that had to have played a part.
Yes, absolutely. Sophie, it has been, oh my gosh, 525 days since you have played Robin. Where is she now?
You know, she's a firecracker. Nothing's going to stop her. I feel like at this point, she's probably made it like overseas. I think she's probably made it like somewhere just totally random. I don't know. She's probably in Australia. I feel like she likes the hardcore culture there and just wants to be in the heat and with all the exotic animals and probably doing some crazy daredevil things that she could get her hands on. Casey magically creates a sword in the film. What other magic solutions do you wish Casey had come up with earlier in the story? This is a good one.
If they could make money. That's a good answer.
No, but like that would have, yeah. Wow, wish Casey could have thought of that one for us.
Yeah. Oh, all right. Sophie, tell us something that's, in your opinion, canon about Robin that isn't included in the final cut of the film.
Hmm. Um, this was never canon, but I discussed this a lot with Liam about um Robin very much coming from a broken home and having her we came up with this whole backstory of like my father ran out on the family, he left us, and it was just me and my two brothers and our mom, and then our mom remarried this guy who's just like your typical jerk stepdad character. And so that was part of how we became so close, because Robin would always be spending time at your house with your grandparents, because that was kind of like a real family home environment that she wasn't getting to experience in her own home. Casey stuck by her side when she felt like no one else liked her. So that was something I really loved exploring and implementing. That to me is definitely canon for Robin. What aspect of Casey's personality was most difficult to understand or capture?
I remember when we first started filming, Liam was there was almost an element of he's like, you're not bad enough. I need to be more selfish and awkward. Because I think with acting there's the element of like you never see yourself as the villain or doing something bad. And so I believed everything I was doing. Also, as someone like I'm so pragmatic that I feel like there's this level of idealism that they had while still being very down to earth in a way. Like their dreams are so lofty and not necessarily making sense financially, but then they're about the here and now. So that I think was the biggest thing to bring together. How can these two sides exist at the same time?
Mm, yeah.
Playing a character in an action movie is physically demanding. How did your life on set compare?
Wow, I'm so happy someone asked this question because I love action movies and I love, like, you know, that like I was super into this whole film and Robin in particular because of all of her movement and the action sequences. Yeah, once I read the first draft of the script and kind of got an idea for the action elements and all of the running away from big scary things that was going to be happening, I started conditioning for the film. Actually, I started running and just practicing like long distance running to build up tolerance, especially because I knew it was always written in that Robin was going to be carrying a pack, and so I knew I was going to be carrying a pack all day long during a long summer shoot. So I did some endurance training just to try and prepare myself for that. And then it was really nice in later drafts. It kind of gets written out about halfway. I think I lose it, so I don't have to carry it the whole time. But yeah, it was really, I think like my conditioning and like endurance prep work helped for being on set. But at the same time, like with such a rigorous and mostly like externally filmed shoot, nothing can really prepare you until you're there. Like you're just working long days and then you're doing all kinds of crazy stuff throughout the day. And so I definitely felt like on one hand, I like was well prepared and I was like, I had some strength training in there and I was like ready, but at the same time, I was like getting my butt kicked a little bit. Some days I was like, oh my God, I need a nap. But like honestly, just it was so fun that even when I was so exhausted, like I never not wanted to be doing it because I personally just love, yeah, I just love action sequences and I love seeing how they work. And so I loved just getting to see the process, and then actually being a part of that process was like totally worth the exhaustion for me, 100%. Casey loves routine and stability. Was your approach to playing them equally as orderly?
This is a question. It feels like this is a read. Like it feels like teasing me.
Oh, do tell.
Yes. So it was relatively orderly. I did a lot of writing, a lot of writing. I have an entire journal, which I don't have on hand, but an entire journal that I filled with different things, lists, lots of bullet point lists of like chronological times. I went through different like scenes, like especially scenes that you don't see in the movie, and I wrote out what happened. Like specifically, there's a whole like the week after Robin leaves. What does that week look like? I would print out my script where the text was on one side and it was a blank page on the other side, and then I would draw lines through all the beats, and I would have columns and write objective, action, obstacle, notes, and then the notes, all these kinds of other things. And I didn't necessarily always fill it out, but just knowing that I had it helped me so much, because anytime I was confused, I had all of this foundation to fall back on. Yeah, I love routine. Oh, love routine.
You said, was that a read?
What was your favorite scene to watch me, Kade, perform? What was your favorite thing to watch me perform?
You know, I actually was thinking about it because I watched it when I watched it at like the St. Johnsbury screening. And I finally hit the point where I'd seen it enough times where I feel like we all did this, like the first time you watch it, you're just like laser focus on you because you're like, oh, what do I look like? What is that? Is this okay? You know, and then I'd finally seen it enough times that I was able to fully like, I was like, forget about me. I already know what I do there. I already know what I sound like. And I always felt like I paid attention to you and Des, but that time I didn't know, like I was really honed in on you guys and I was just so impressed. Like, I don't know, I feel like this is like what everyone expects me to say, but I feel like it was the finale with you alone in the room and Casey like being alone after the queen leaves and I die and you're just like totally hopeless, feeling like you just have lost everything. And in that moment, Casey finally is just like, I accept that this is how it is and it's okay. I just need you, like this is what matters. This is what's important. And it was really beautiful to watch you do that on screen and see that moment of true acceptance in Casey.
So sweet. Thanks.
What was your favorite scene to watch me, Sophia, perform?
There are a couple of things I loved, and it was moments that you made your own and moments that you recognize the importance in. Like for instance, the ending, the big fight. I remember you being really on top of it, talking with the fight choreographer about what happens if you are injured in the way that Robin was injured, which uh and then you're sort of like dying, and that whole arc, you really took command of it and made it your own, and made it a whole story. And the other one, very similar, is when you hug me and your face and you break the Robin finally is a softie.
Yeah.
And that was so cool because I didn't see that while it was happening. And watching it was just, oh, it got my whole heart.
Oh.
Robin is depicted as a loner, besides Casey. Uh, do you, Sophie, have many close friends slash family, or one standalone best friend?
I have 3 sisters, so I'm very close with all of them and I cherish our relationships a lot. And then, yeah, I kind of have a pretty tight inner circle of like my couple of best friends that I keep close throughout the years. So that was a little bit of a fun challenge with Robin, was playing someone who comes from a broken home and doesn't have friends and pushes people away. And even the one person that she does really want to keep close, she also pushes them away because she doesn't know how to hold on to people. And I think exploring that showed me in my own life where I'm like, well, I'm close to my family and I have a lot of friends, but even exploring all the ins and outs of playing someone who feels that way and does those kinds of things showed me in my own life where I'm like, oh, I feel like I can see where I also push people away at times, or I deny the help, or I deny the good friendships, or like don't listen to a family member that's just trying to be there for me, and so that was fun to explore, of like putting yourself in like the loner's shoes and being like, well, I'm not like this, and then being like, oh no, like I can relate to some of these tendencies and learn from them, which was really cool. Robin taught me a lot.